Throwing chips, baby.
Is that seawater?
Look at this, dude.
This is the most disgusting car I've ever touched.
Been thrashing. Couple updates. Put the dash in so that we can fit up radio stuff. Yeah. So revisit that later on because I'm gonna probably build a box and this and that and everything else. Have a bunch of interior lights mounted, LED strips, some cool freaking bro rock lights right there. Those are sweet. Those are mounted. Thinking about placement for rugged antenna on the trunk right there or on the roof, which is why we pulled out this massive freaking trunk. The trunk of a C8 is huge. Oh, got Kramer going on here. Anderson Composites C8 trunk, and I got my trunk hinges. Look at these things, they're cast aluminum. Pretty freaking cool. So yeah, gonna put those on. Maybe that's the wrong way? Is that the wrong way? I don't know. Gonna put those on, put the trunk on, because then we'll be able to see where the antenna can go in the roof because we don't want the trunk to swing and hit the antenna. So it'd be cool to see the trunk on for once in a really, really long time, and I've never put the carbon one on, so dry carbon. Anderson is just the sickest. So good.
I don't know is if we'll be able to. Whoa! Our box filter.
Look at that, look at that. Center that up, dude. Yeah, will that go on? Those hinges are the wrong way.
Backwards. Flip them around.
Ooh.
Drop in.
Now it makes sense. Okay, you want to tighten your side up then? So realistically, like, it's way easier to do trunk things
with that off.
Yeah. So all the things that we do
Has to be easy.
GPS and all that should be easy to go through this and unplug, because this is, look at that, this is cake now. So freaking sick! Look at that. Cast aluminum hinge or a top stay thing.
You hear that, guys? Pop stay thing.
Top stay thing. All right, then this is the test. Down. Oh, one trunk pop only.
Oh God.
That's beautiful. I didn't even think about hood latches.
Yeah, we need arrow catch or something. Pins, arrow catch, I don't know.
Look at that.
Hey guys, this is Adam with Wooms today. We're here at Gromm Racing Engines in San Jose, California with a Matt Field C8 engine. This is an LSR block, and it's a bunch of one-off crazy stuff that's unique to his build. So he's got us here today helping scan his engine so that he can do two things. One of them is to get this into a C8 CAD model so you can figure out packaging, and the other thing is getting these cylinder head outputs, because this is a one-off cylinder head, to Borla so that Borla can start making the exhaust manifold for his car. So we're gonna go ahead and get scanning and see what the result looks like. So we're scanning this with our Artec Leo, and we're gonna be using a lot of this spray because you can see this head has a lot of shiny aluminum. So I have to make sure I pick it up to give the team that's working on this CAD the best accuracy possible. We're gonna be focusing on a lot of the engine mounting, as well as the transmission mounting for Matt, so that he can get this in CAD, get the transmission, get the headers made, and everything else he needs to do before this car actually gets to go back together. This helps him continue to build without needing to wait on the engine to come into the manufacture. So the scanning technology and all this CAD stuff really helps teams get a step ahead without having extended timelines and unnecessary timelines.
Going to shift gears a little bit because we're going to start focusing on plumbing for the intake manifold, which Alec and I are messing with right now. Going to get a vibrant 30 here. But what that means is it's time to do a couple of things. We talked about machining the front of the fuel rails here because this is super deep and the injector isn't back till back here, so I could probably take a 1/4 inch off. But what I was waiting for are these. And my buddy Kyle from Demonic Injection has sent me a set of 1750 ethanol safe injectors. These are the real deal, like the best Bosch injectors that you can get, and he obviously matches them, and this is a perfect match set, ready to go racing here. So I was waiting just to make sure the injector height was going to be the same as these mock-up injectors that I have, but I'm going to put these in, figure out exactly where I can, because I'm going to need to trim these standoffs for the fuel rail and trim the fuel rails themselves. Then we can build all of the fuel lines on the intake manifold, and that'll also give us that amount of room that we need here for the firewall. And then maybe I will shift and get these mocked up as well, because all of that is, it's kind of like time to focus on the intake manifold stuff, because we're just about done all below. Have some more plumbing to do, but yeah, I'm gonna shift and work on this for a little bit. Look at this. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, I placed my demonic injectors in there, and I am going to start with, I decided I might think about this for a little bit, because it's doing that on the Bridgeport's not very easy. Oh, this is the other side. This one, I'm gonna pop this in here. Then what I need to do is shorten these so that I can run no injector spacers or anything. So I need to get the distance between the bottom of this and that right there. And then I will be able to take that off of the bottom side of this in my Bridgeport on all 4 of them, and we'll be good to go. One down. You can see I shorten that much shorter. Got it all jigged up. A little stay here. Just crazy. Everything custom. Even when you buy something like this, still custom. Yeah, probably a certain injector would have fit with no reason, with no problem or anything, but one of the fuel rails lower, clear the back, injector height, no spacers, less O-rings, all good things, but custom. Custom. I wonder if I could just hit this in one shot and just go real slow. Chris is either looking at this video right now and being like, yeah, you idiot, of course you can, or no, why is he about to do that? We're gonna try. I'm sending a video to Chris right now and ask him go sure or not. We'll see. Feels pretty good to me, nice and slow. See what he says. Oh, this looks sick. Watch this. This looks sick. See ya. Freaking love me a Bridgeport, dude. Ooh, got it on the freaking auto feed, dude. Smooth as butter. Chris says it's fine. Throwing chips, baby. Nice. Okay, let's go see how it all lays out. I'm gonna need shorter bolts, and these are probably standard, and they're cap head, so I might have to go get some. I am in the middle of mounting the drive-by-wire motor. Missed some stuff, been focused, shot some other video, forgot to do this, but let me just update you with what's going on. This is the piece that I started with that was much bigger, and I'm starting to put a step into it. The step is for this step right here to match that. I'm doing this all pretty much by hand on the Bridgeport. Pair of calipers, some eyeballs, nothing crazy, nothing special, but this sits in there. The fuel rail will sit right here. Because we got all this linkage all done. We tack welded these studs on. You can see the welds in there. Welded the studs, got all the throttle cable linkage all adjusted. We had put some spacers where spacers were needed. I changed a little bit of the angles of these to get it dialed in. This throttle cable quick disconnect came in today from Summit, and I got my little rod end from McMaster Car. So this goes on here, gets bolted in, and then we have the little arm right here. That's how that works. So that's the basics of what it's going to look like. I'm going to do some more machining on the Bridgeport, then I'll hook it all up and show you guys exactly how it goes. But I think it's gonna work good. The only question is, will it have enough power to work both of these beefy freaking throttle bodies. And I think what I need to do is contact Wilson and see if I can get a softer spring in here, because it's a lot of effort with this linkage. But we'll do with that when the time is. So for now, I'm also deciding to do some countersunk hardware in here so that it goes exactly back in the same place. Because if I ever have to take the bracket off for the drive-by-wire motor, then there'll definitely be like some misalignment, and I don't want to have slop in the throttle. I don't know what it will be. So I'm gonna countersink everything to hopefully it goes exactly back in its place. Let me explain you the process of doing these fuel rails. You drill the small holes through the bracket so that you know exactly where it needs to go. Then I'm gonna drill it for the size that it needs to be tapped. Then I'm gonna tap it. Then I can drill my other plate here to the larger size so that there's just a tiny bit of slop on those 1/4-inch bolts that we go through here. And then I need to countersink it so that they have a place and the ability to line up. So a lot of different steps, lots of different drill bits. I got 5 drill bits out, tap holder, this fluid, old cutting fluid, oils, toolbox buddy, freaking just about everything. But yeah, we're making our way through it. Drive-by-wire motor adapter plate complete. It's a lot of work. Check this thing out. This is where it mounts to the drive-by-wire motor here. This is where it mounts to the fuel rail. Everything is drilled and tapped and countersunk so that it's locating. It'll always go back into the same spot. There's no misalignment with the bolts because the countersinks will hold it in place. It's a serious little unit. Then we have the lowers to the rail. The rail is what is tapped. Then the rod end bolt. There it is in all of its glory. The most important thing during this whole process was making sure all this stuff is not in binds. There's a lot of rod ends, there's a lot of things to adjust, there's a lot of angles to consider and heights and washers and all that, but I think we got it. Through its travel. Ooh. And yeah, this drive-by-wire motor is gonna be freaking working right here, that's for sure. That is pretty freaking, there's a lot going on there. I am worried that this might not be strong enough because these springs are really strong. So I'm gonna call Wilson tomorrow, see if they have some lighter springs. And then I was also told by Josiah that I should get rid of this progressive linkage because it opens up partial and then maybe it's just not good for drifting. So I trust him, he's ran one of these for quite some time. So I'm gonna switch over that linkage when I talk to Wilson, but this thing is actually ready to be set in the car now, and now we can finally start thinking about where these suckers are gonna go. That took a long time. Jay is coming today to rewire the engine harness. So a couple things have moved around since he's been here, so that means I need to not do that anymore. One of those things is placing the coils. I had Adrian place them on the engine mounts. Since then, the heads came, saw the engine, the angle of the exhaust, changed my mind. Gonna do this now. Back to LS style. These awesome Link IGN1A coils are gonna be mounted to the valve cover. And I also got these super sick burn down valve cover breathers, which are quick disconnect and baffled. Yeah, that's the baffle that goes underneath. You get bolted to the valve cover. They sell their O-ring fitting that goes in here. Boom, these pins comes right out. So it's one less tool that you need to do when you're taking the valve covers off to set valve lash. So Alec is working on mounting these to that valve cover over there. I am going to mount these coils on this valve cover here, and we'll regroup and swap and keep going. So this is gonna be some measuring, take it to the mill and drill some holes. Holy moly, it's been one of those days. End of the week update. I didn't do a whole lot of filming today, but that's because I've been absolutely thrashing. You can see Jay here doing the final measuring for the engine harness because we got done the drive-by-wire motors, the fuel rails, mounting of the Link coils. All of the sensors are placed, so it's like, yeah, it's time. So let me show you what we did. What's up, what's up? Coils are mounted on the valve covers. Sweet Motion Raceworks quick disconnect fittings for valve cover breathers. Super cool. I'll show you guys later. You just push the buttons and this comes out, so toolless. Change from the coils being down here, so that'll give Borla more room for the exhaust to run under, because yeah, I just wasn't thinking about that. This is where the spark plug wire comes. It's gonna be super short and direct. I love it. I'm pumped on that. Drive-by-wire motor is completed, done, working, and Jay is doing the final measuring for the coil harnesses. Then he will have everything he needs, and hopefully Robbie at AIM will have everything that he needs, and we'll come together in a couple of weeks and put it all together. That's the hope. What else did I get done today? Mounted the nitrous solenoid. That sucker's right there. Nitrous plate that you saw. I will do a little feature on the nitrous system explaining how it goes on the next episode. Put the NOS nitrous bottle in its place, figuring out nitrous plumbing, because I didn't order all that plumbing ahead of time. I wanted to see what I got, so I'll get my vibrate order in on Summit and get a couple more things here for that. Alec working on quick disconnect mounting tab for the clutch bleed. This is gonna be the bleeder. It's gonna go up here somewhere for the clutch, because the master cylinder is way down there. The biggest thing is just look at how freaking sick this engine looks. That's nuts, dude. Freaking nuts. Yeah, you literally just push these tabs here, boom, boom, and then this comes out. And I'll show you guys now too, because that's like a must-have. And they're bolt-on, so if your valve cover's already done and painted or whatever, it's just badass. But we're getting close. Been a busy week.